Good evening and welcome to North Little Rock for this 7A state quarterfinal matchup with the Cabot Panthers and the North Little Rock Chargers and Wildcats. I'm Ashton Kohler.
And I'm Trey Johnson.
Trey, what do you think are some key things that will walk out for you?
You know, the last time Cabot played with Little Rock was without their star offensive out today, so Cabot's got to stop the run tonight. Cabot also has to have their secondary step up, and that was the reason North Little Rock came back in the last game. Cabot's secondary has been strong all year. It's been an Achilles heel to the defense, so they're going to have the secondary in this game if they want to expect to stay with the 2-0 Wildcats.
You're definitely right about that, Art. The Cabot secondary has really been questionable here in the stretch of this last half of the season. They've been really strong starting out the year, and for some reason, they've really just kind of slowed down. The team's been able to throw all over them all season, or season for the back half of the season. And I think most important for tonight is that D-line has got to step up. They've got to play big tonight. They got, like you said, they had their starter running back Alex Day back. I'll be curious to find out just what they're going to do to stop him.
Yeah, he's a force out of the backfield. You have to have your defensive line playing top notch. He squeezes through the smallest of holes to turn into a huge game, and you got to watch out. Just like you said, you got to play strong and physical and fast. You got to be fast. Little Rock team is super fast on all facets of the ball, so you have to step up and fire on the ball and hit it first.
He's definitely one of them. Making his return tonight. He was out last time. Played Cabot with a concussion injury.
You know,
we'll
Day
see what he can do in his comeback game.
He's got a lot of speed. He likes to cut through holes, and he can also run you over. So you got to be on your A game.
Now let's flip to the other side of the ball. In Cabot's offense, you have quarterback Gerard Barnes and potentially his last game of the season if they go on to lose. How do you expect him to play tonight with that fire that he wants to keep playing?
You know, I expect him to show out tonight because this is his last opportunity to see what he can do, to show these fans what he's made of. You know, next year this whole state will be behind him as he'll be an Arkansas Razorback, so he wants to show these fans what he's made of and what he has to bring to the table to get them all behind him and rally behind him as he goes up to Fayetteville on the hill to play for Brett Bielema and the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see that. Talk about a guy 6 foot, 175, not the real bigger competitor you'd see in the SEC play. However, he is very, very good out in open space, very elusive, very good when he has the ball in his hands. And that's what Cabot likes to do. Malham likes to call those plays, get him open in the field, let him run that option play. And, you know, if they shut it down, he'll pitch the ball a couple times. But, you know, usually he likes to keep that ball and see what he can do out in the open field when he's in the secondary.
You're right. That's definitely what makes him dangerous. He makes up for his undersize with the speed and elusiveness that he has. If you think you've got him wrapped up and you just stutter a little bit, he'll make you pay for it, turn it into a big gain, so you have to be on your A game.
Now, the downside is with that, though, him being so small, if you wrap him up, he'll go down almost every single time, but you got to make sure you wrap up against him. He'll slip out of those tackles real quick. Those arm tackles will not work against him. You got to hit him. You got to knock him down. He'll go down. He'll go down pretty easily if you can actually wrap up and, you know, put some weight on him. But other than that, he's a force to be reckoned with on that Cabot offense.
You're certainly right. You know, it goes back to the fundamentals of football. Wrap up and take them down. No arm tackles. Arm tackles lead to broken tackles, which are not good. You know, you have to protect the football. This game is going to be physical. It's going to be won by whichever team is quicker and fires off the ball faster. You know, the North Little Rock team has a lot of speed. I can't say it enough. Can't stress it enough. Speed on both lines and secondary offense, everything. You name it. Got a great coaching staff.
Looks like Cabot has won the toss. They've elected to defer to the second half. North Little Rock Chargers and Wildcats will receive the opening kickoff of tonight's quarterfinal matchup.
Looks like the Cabot Panthers
expecting to see some
about to run out onto the field. Yeah, Cabot has brought a pretty good crowd tonight. What do you think of the crowd that's over there?
Oh, they definitely fill the stands over there. There's a couple of open spots on the edges, not many though. It's mostly packed in there in the center.
Here come the charging Wildcats, and they're looking mean as ever, mean and strong. Carrying the paddle out on the field.
Here come your Panthers, looking to defy all odds and put an end to the North Little Rock Charging Wildcats' amazing season that they have had, sitting at 10-0 coming into this game. They're definitely the pick favorites tonight, especially with their running back coming back tonight. You know, it's going to be a very big game. Expecting to see a lot of fire on both sides of the ball for both teams. You know, they neither one really wants to go home, so I'm really interested to see just what teams are going to do tonight.
Yeah, you're certainly right. Talked about Gerard being a senior. This could be his last name. Also goes the same for Alex Day. It could be his last game as he's a senior, his last chance to play in front of these fans that he's played for his whole life. So
now, Alex Day, surprisingly enough, like we said, he was a great running back. He's very good when he gets into open space. He could break a couple tackles. However, he's not the size. He's not big enough to go really to compete at a really good next level at a good Division I school. He's got a couple Division II offers, but still a threat in the backfield. See him down there warming up on the bike. Wants to keep his legs loose.
He's looking to make a statement tonight.
There we go. Sorry, I couldn't get that out there.
He's warming those legs up. As we can guess, he'll probably get a heavy workload tonight out of the backfield. May even see him in the slot.
So we'll get a chance to see Cabot on defense first and Alex Day starting back there in the backfield. So we're going to see what North Little Rock has to offer on their opening possession. They got Trey Cox under center tonight, senior quarterback, sitting at 6 foot, 170. Decent size for a quarterback, I'd say, at least at the high school level.
Certainly. He can sling it.
He's had a couple of mishaps at last time he played Cabot, but, nonetheless, he's a great quarterback. Just last game, it wasn't really on his A game last time. I'm really looking for him to make a real comeback game, and he wants to definitely push this Wildcats team to a state championship, which they have surprisingly never won. They've had some really good teams. They've never won a state championship, and they've never been 10-0. This is the first time they've ever been 10-0.
You're certainly right. They've had plenty of athletes come out of this school. KJ Hill, Alte Tenpenny, you name it, all the athletes that have come out of North Little Rock.
Definitely.
Just goes to show you, it doesn't matter who you got on your team. If another team out-fundamentals you can lose the football game, just like the year Fayetteville beat North Little Rock.
See, now it doesn't come down to just the players you have. You're right. They always have some really good athletes. They produce a lot of Division I players. However, they aren't able to come away with that ring. It's a team sport. It can't come down to a couple of players like KJ Hill or Alte Tenpenny, like you said, but it's going to come down to can they perform together as a team tonight.
You're right, and we're about to get to see that. This game is going to be great and action-packed. It's going to be a physical game.
I'm really expecting to see a very hard-fought physical game down there in the trenches. Both teams can run the ball exceptionally well. However, North Little Rock likes to open it up more, so they're definitely going to give Cabot a test in the secondary level.
We'll get to see maybe some different play calling this time from Cabot, as last time the play calling was pretty good, but, Cabot elected to go for two. Didn't get it, You either get it or you don't. You get it, your coach is called a genius. You don't, the play call is going to be questioned. But nevertheless, we're right back in it. Cabot's fixing to kick the ball off to start this quarterfinal matchup. Game is brought to you by the AAA. Want to thank them for allowing us to broadcast this game and all others who were in the press box. And the kick is away out to – it's going to roll into the end zone. We don't see McCullough kicking the end zone very much, but he will this time for a touchback.
So we're going to have a touchback, and they're going to bring the ball out. And we'll see Alex Day trotting onto the field, see what he can do in his first game back.
Looks like Trey Cox will start out under center. It'd be interesting to see when they go into their traditional shotgun formation, but he's going to take this snap under center.
I wouldn't be surprised if they hand it off right here. No, he's going to go play action. He's going to go deep immediately. He's got a man open, beat deep, and it's going to be a quick touchdown for North Little Rock.
Wow, first play of the game.
Like I said, they've had very many problems in the secondary this late part of the season, and they're going to test them right there for a quick 7 points, a quick 6 points, 7 on the way.
Wow, that was just not blown coverage or anything. He just flat out ran past the secondary. Just ran right by him. Like I was saying earlier, that speed, got to have that speed, and he had it there.
Extra point is going to be good, and North Little Rock will take an early 7-0 lead with taking only 10 seconds off that play clock. Pretty impressive drive right there, one play for the North Little Rock Charging Wildcats. That definitely gets you some great momentum going into the rest of this game.
You know, that's not what you want to see if you're Cabot, coming into this game. You're going to have to stop Alex Day. That's your main focus. But if you get their secondary rolling,
see, that's going to be a very deep, real threat to Cabot defense. They got a great running back there in the backfield. They also have some very fast wide receivers. And like they did in that very first play, defense was expecting a run to start the game. They get their running back. So, they were expecting a run, and they got beat deep off a quick play action. And just like that, it's 7-0 North Little Rock. North Little Rock having to run another man out there. It seems they were a man short. Now they're going to call a false start. Down there looks to be number 30, Tyler.
Kickoff foul, offsides against North Little Rock.
Tyler Day, that's a running back. He's a sophomore, 6'1", 175. Early mistakes from North Little Rock as well. They had like I said again, they had the great first play to score, and now they're making a mistake on kickoff. You can't be having those mistakes if you're going to contend with Cabot, and Cabot can't have the same mistakes going against North Little Rock. These two really good teams. Expect you can't make mistakes like that. Austin Byland on to kick now. He'll send a high ball.
What was that?
It's a sky kick, and Cabot will get great field position.
Not sure what they were trying to pull there, but kicked it straight up in the air.
Well, Cabot has great return on kick, great kickoff return team out there. And Gerard Barnes will trot onto the field now. Try to get Cabot some points here to answer off North Little Rock's points. Curious to see what Gerard is going to do tonight. Here we go. Here's our chance to see Cabot on offense now.
Great run.
Good
by
first
Easton.
run there by Easton Seidel. Pick up 8 on the play. Very good play there for Cabot. Starting off strong with Easton Seidel.
It says it's charging. This says it's charging my next
Easton, he used to play linebacker to start the season, in the middle of the season, kind of transitioned to defensive lineman. And these last couple games, he's transitioned back to the fullback position. He played that in junior high. Now he's really at home with it there, and they'll give it to him again. He'll dive forward for the first down.
Yeah, Easton's a powerhouse off the line. Put him on the defensive line.
Oh, yeah, he was busting through those defensive tackles, or those offensive tackles, excuse me, like it was nothing. He was absolutely blowing by them, blowing up the backfield. And he was a real star over there at defensive lineman for sure. But, you know, he says he likes being a fullback more. He's a bigger build for it. So, and he really likes getting the ball, and he really likes taking it into the end zone scoring. So they're going to feed him the ball a lot, and they'll feed it to him again, and they'll blow it up. It's going to be a loss.
Nothing going there. Stuff.
Oh, excuse me. He did not get the first down. And they'll lose a yard. It'll be 4th down and a yard for Cabot.
That's a quick.
See what Malham looks like. They're going to go for it here. Gerard Barnes stays on the field as well as the offense. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 1. Malham really likes going for those 4th and short situations.
Sure does. He has a lot of guts going for it again here after that cost him the game last time. But we'll see. Line up in the dead tee. Barnes will take it out of the dead tee.
They'll give it to him again. He'll stuff him. So North Little Rock comes out on fire with a quick touchdown. Now a 3-and-out for the North Little Rock defense.
Their defense is rolling right now. They are just busting through the line.
They gave up an 8-yard gain to Easton Seidel on first down. They'll stuff them down to a 1-yard gain on second, lose them for a third, and then stuff them on 4th down. They'll take the ball over on their own 49-yard line. See what they'll do here as they're on their second possession on offense. And they'll give it to Alex. Alex gets it to the secondary.
He's quick. Didn't take long for him to get those yards. It's a split second.
Tackled by Justin Neighbors. He'll pick up a quick 6 yards there. It'll be 2nd down.
You know, interesting when Evan Hooper went out, moved Easton up to the D-line again, and moved Cody Neighbors up to linebacker to fill Easton's role. Justin Neighbors came off the bench to take Hooper's role in the secondary.
Another handoff here. And they'll wrap them up for a short gain. Only a gain of 1 on the play. He'll be 3rd down. So we're seeing a little bit of North Little Rock establishing the run game here, and they'll, of course, like they've shown you, very first play, play action. I think they'll get that rolling here tonight.
Right, they fooled Cabot big time on that play action. Now they have to respect the pass.
They'll give it off to Alex, not before a flag is thrown. So it's going to be a false start on North Little Rock. They'll back them up 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd down 7 for North Little Rock.
Sure enough, they'll back them up. And like you said, those can be drive killers.
They really can. If you're trying to build an up-tempo offense like North Little Rock has, and you back them up 5 yards, it's just going to kill them. They had their offensive rolling right there, and they were going to – here's another play action. They'll go deep again. It is a man wide open. That'll be a big 1st down for North Little Rock. And, again, testing the secondary. They'll get out into space, and they'll create those open receivers. Get an easy 1st down there for North Little Rock.
Seems like Cabot's having a hard time covering the middle right now.
I think they're so focused on the run tonight. They know. Not necessarily Alex is back. You just got to respect the North Little Rock backfield. They always produce some really good running backs. And, this is a real threat. So I think they're really focusing tonight on the run game. And when you do that, you just leave yourself vulnerable to the play action.
Yeah, you're right. They're keying up on Day, and that's leaving the middle of the field wide open. Maybe they could drop back into a different coverage, change of formation.
Had some problems with the play clock, it seems. So the refs are trying to get that sorted. Meanwhile, it's still 7-0 North Little Rock, and North Little Rock's knocking on the door again. They started this drive with some great field position on the 49-yard line, and here we go. We got it situated. 8:42 remaining. Got a 1st down for North Little Rock. See what they'll do. They'll send a man in motion. Another play action. Oh, almost had another receiver. Almost picked off by Cale Eddington. He's frustrated with himself on that one. Should have had that.
He should have had it. Hit him right in the hands. Gotta bring that in, especially when you're playing North Little Rock.
Just threw it over his head. And it's going to be second down for North Little Rock.
You know, Cabot likes to see this right here, pace slowing down a little bit. Cabot can beat a lot of teams when the pace is slowed. They out-finesse teams like this.
Cabot defense really got to step up here. You do not want to go down by 14 to this team. And they'll give up 5 yards there. So it will be third down. See if North Little Rock can convert their second third down of the night. They had that big play open in the middle to convert their first, and here comes their second. As they'll trot out on the field. Bolden, he's a tight end, fullback. He's a senior, 6'1", 225.
I like this formation, Ashton. This is one of my favorites.
Go play action again. He'll throw it. Misses receiver. Should have been caught again.
The middle's still wide open. Cabot's got to close that up.
Well, they had it covered pretty good that time. You know, just missed his target again. Tyler Cox just threw it right over him. But again, it's the secondary, Justin Neighbors, who should have come away with that interception.
Yeah, I have no excuses when it hits you in the hands. You know, sometimes it just doesn't come through.
Just was unable to get his head around and locate that football. It looks like they'll go for it here. Really surprising play call. Cabot's got to watch the football. They're probably going to try to draw him off sides. No, they're going to run a play here. They'll go play action.
Cox will roll out.
Did he catch it? No.
No.
They're going to say it's an incomplete pass, and Cabot makes a defensive stand right there. Although it was on a couple of North Little Rock bad plays, but they'll come away with a stop on defense, and they'll look to get some offensive momentum going here. They were unable to come away with any points on the last drive. They got a 3-and-out. Tried to go for a fourth down conversion on 4th and 1. Didn't work out. They stuffed Easton Seidel. And they'll look to drive the ball downfield as they'll start on their own 27-yard line. They'll split 2 receivers out. Cabot doesn't open the formation very much, and they'll get a false start. That's Braxton Burton, the senior fullback. Back him up 5 yards, and it's not looking good for the Cabot offense. They're looking at 1st and 15.
You know, this offense has to move in rapid succession if they want to get down the field and score a touchdown.
And you can tell they're really wanting to move this football. They want to get Gerard Barnes out into open space. And then that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to run it. And again, another flag. Now back them up even more. It's another false start on Cabot. We'll move them back even more. And it looks like out there for Cabot is number 50, Christopher Long. He's a center. He's a junior. He's coming away with a little bit of a limp there. Looks a little slow to get up. But it'll be 1st and 20 now for Cabot off of 2 false start penalties.
Hurts you when you have one of those, much less have 2 in a row like that. Can't be having that. Great pass over the middle.
He's got an open receiver to John Weens. It's a 1st down and more. He's in open space. Big gain out there to the 10-yard line. 9-yard line, They'll mark him off at the 9-yard line. It's a huge play for Cabot. John Weens wide open there in the center of the field. No one around him. Just doesn't have the breakaway speed to produce points. But Cabot now knocking on the door to tie this thing up with 7:13 remaining.
It's a great play. Weens has a lot of speed for a tight end, especially in the 7A. Pays to have speed like that.
And here goes Gerard Barnes. He'll go up the center. He'll fumble the football. Cabot will jump up on it.
Touchdown,
Looks like it's going to be a
Panthers.
touchdown for Cabot.
Touchdown, Panthers.
They get a break, huge break there. As Gerard Barnes coughed up the football, landed in the end zone. They hop on it to get a quick 6 points right there with 6:47 remaining. Here comes the extra point now.
You know, just like that, just a split second earlier for that North Little Rock player, and this game would have changed significantly. But Cabot's right back in it. Ironside's Mason Martin to kick the extra point.
The extra point is up, and it is good, and it is 7-7. What a turn of events for this offense to come out like they did. Get that played in the center to John Weens to get some really good yards right there. Fortunately, like I said, wasn't able to produce the points off of that play. However, they did end up punching it in the end zone off of a scary, risky fumble by Gerard Barnes.
Yeah, you're right. That was scary. All the Cabot fans, heart skipped a beat there. The ball just rolled right out in the end zone in the open.
You really got to protect the football there. It's a really scary moment. However, Cabot was fortunate that the player was right there, and he'll jump on the football for Cabot touchdown. This broadcast being brought to you by Cabot High School Television and AAA, the Arkansas Activities Association, excuse me. And they'll send out Ben McCullough to kick now for Cabot. And they won't kick it out of the end zone this time. He'll have a chance to return, and he's in open space. He breaks another tackle, and he'll get a great return out there to the 49-yard line, tackled by Austin Swackhammer for Cabot. And North Little Rock's offense comes trotting out on the field once again after a disappointing drive that ended in a pass that ultimately should have been caught. A low ball thrown by Tyler Cox, and Trey Cox, excuse me, I'm sorry. Drop ball right there. Should have been thrown a little bit higher, but nevertheless look to turn it around here as they'll start 1st and 10 on the 49-yard line. They'll hand it off to Alex. Alex behind a wall of blockers. He'll break a couple tackles.
Wow.
He's in open space.
How about that'll loosen this? That'll take him out to the 10-5, and he's in for a Wildcat touchdown.
Is Alex Day, and he'll march it into the end zone for a 49-yard touchdown run. And so far, North Little Rock offense in 2 plays on their scoring drives. They've punched it in on the first play on the first drive, and here on the third drive, though on 1 play again, score another touchdown.
You know, they can beat you either way, on the ground or through the air. First play of the offensive game, you saw him throw that deep bomb, untouchable, just walked in the end zone, and like I said there, Day just broke through the tackles, sped into the end zone. So Melton will kick the extra point.
Extra point is good, and it is 14-7 North Little Rock.
Interesting to say, she was on a 55 extra point streak before Cabot blocked her extra point in the last game here, which was blocked, but in turn, North Little Rock
scored that
picked
2-point conversion.
Yeah, you're right. They
picked
picked
up
it up,
that
threw
point.
it in there. Eventually won the
Cabot
game.
tried to answer. They got stuffed on that 2-point conversion, but that's all behind us. We're in tonight's game. See if Cabot can come back. They weren't in this position in the last game. They went up big at halftime, holding North Little Rock to no first downs all half. They did give them a good field position on 1 good defensive stand by North Little Rock. However, and they were able to turn that to 3 points. But Cabot went up big at the end of the first half in that game. North Little Rock came charging on back. But it's a different story tonight. North Little Rock's come out red hot on offense. And they'll send another one deep here.
Be fielded by Morse.
Get a big hit out there to the 28-yard line where Cabot will start 1st and 10. Morse a little slow to get up there.
As Cabot will set up their offense again here. So like you said, the last drive, one play, Weens up the middle, just busted through the line, showed some great speed for a tight end. Was able to take it all the way down inside the 10, and fumble recovered by Cabot in the end zone for a touchdown. As a timeout will be taken by Cabot. Look to talk things over here. Looked like it was initiated by Coach Randy Black, defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's got to get this. This offense has got to get rolling again. You know, they had a really good drive last time, had a really big play there. However, you know, they really want to get this offense rolling here. And this defense is so good for North Little Rock.
Yeah, secondary just moves so quick, able to read.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hard to get open against them, and especially the run game, too. You know, they had a couple of good plays. However, North Little Rock had a huge defensive stand there in the trenches, and they stuffed Easton Seidel on that first drive.
Yeah, Cabot thought they were going to have that going, but they gave it to him again after he got that big play, and just they read it quick. This North Little Rock defense learns on the fly, and they learn quick. Once they learn something, you can't run it again because they know it well. That's what Cabot's trying to do here. They're trying to find something that North Little Rock is not expecting. You know, if Gerard is going to read the read option here, he's going to have to make sure he makes the right read because, you know, we've seen him earlier in this season. He's thrown some crazy pitches, but North Little Rock will jump on those.
They'll split two out again, but Gerard's going to keep the football. He'll get a couple as he's hit hard, and he'll only pick up 4 on the play. Cabot really likes to do that. They'll spread it out like they have the past couple of plays. You know, they'll split 2 receivers out, but most of the time it's a quarterback draw play, and that's what Cabot really likes to do. They know Gerard's a dual threat. He can throw the ball real deep, you know, but he likes to have the football more in his hands, and you'll see here again, shotgun, bring 2 out. Curious to see if he's going to throw it. No, he's going to hand it off John Weens. John Weens breaks the tackle. He'll get wrapped up for no gain on the play.
You know, North Little Rock's reading those plays. Cabot's going to have to switch it up, maybe spread it out a little more because North Little Rock's stacking the box right now.
Oh, yeah, they read that play like a book. They were all over that play. There was no hole there for John Weens. It was blocked quick. He tried to bounce it outside, but he got stopped very, very fast. That defensive line is really good, and they'll split out 3 receivers this time. Look, Gerard's probably going to throw it here. Yes, he is. He'll step back. He'll unload one. He's got an open receiver.
Timms was wide
open, and he'll overthrow him. Yeah. It's going to be 4th down.
You can't have that.
Cabot's going to have to punt.
Timms was wide open, and Barnes just
looked like burned the corner.
Throwing it into the second row over there.
He burned the corner on the far end of the field, and Gerard Barnes just tried to heave one over there. There was no pressure on him. Guess he just got excited about it. Don't really know what happened there.
Just happens.
But, you know, Cabot's going to have to punt here. Eric Larson, he's a really good punter. He'll send another one down. Returnable kick. He'll get one. They'll wrap him up at the 30-yard line.
Great special teams coverage there. Great punt from Larson.
Yeah, Larson's a very good punter. He usually, I'm not 100% on his average, but he gets some really nice kicks. And he'll get a really good bounce, in fact, get those extra yards, try to pin them back deep. And then Cabot's coverage downfield was excellent. He almost broke a tackle, but 2 more guys were there to make the play and ultimately stop it. They'll hand it off again. Day will bounce it outside. He's got a blocker.
That was one heck of a misdirection there.
It's very good play again by Alex Days. He bounces out to the outside. May I remind you, this broadcast is being brought to you by the Arkansas Activities Association, Cabot High School Television. As North Little Rock's moving the ball very well this quarter. with only 4:45 remaining. He'll go play action again. He gets some pressure. He'll dump it off. And he'll drag a defender out there for an 8-yard gain. Man, Logan Edmondson was all over the quarterback. He blew up that tight end over there, getting in the quarterback's face. He'll make him dump off a quick pass out there in the flat to Kevin Wallace. He's a freshman, but he got some good yards out there in the secondary. But turn a disastrous play, what looked like for North Little Rock, into a very good one. They're looking at a 2nd and 2 situation. And another penalty.
Dude, they're racking up on those tonight.
They'll back them up even more. Both teams are struggling. They'll back them up and they'll lose. So really, if you look at it, they only gained 3 on that last play. That penalty will move them back 5, and they'll place the ball at the 50-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 7 now for North Little Rock. Penalties. They kill teams. They're a real momentum changer. See if North Little Rock can bounce back. They'll pitch it out to Alex Day. He'll shake a couple defenders. He's getting the outside. Cale Eddington able to bring him out of bounds, not before he can get a first down. And you can see Alex Day is already putting on a show here tonight in his comeback game.
That cat is quick, and it doesn't take much for him to roar to life.
It really does not. You see him, he broke a couple tackles early and was able to bring it to the secondary score. That kid he's one tough kid. He's not afraid to lower his shoulder and get to the extra level.
You know, like you said earlier, he's undersized, but he packs a serious punch. You don't want to be on the receiving end of him lowering his shoulder.
Really don't. He's lacks in size, but picks it up with physical strength, and they'll send a man in motion. They'll look to get even punching into the end zone here. They'll go play action. Logan Edmondson again in his face. He's got a receiver open.
There you go with the middle again.
But they're able to make the stop. There's Bryce Billings make the touchdown-saving tackle on the 3-yard line. Another big play in the passing game for North Little Rock as they're really putting a toll on this Cabot secondary. And they're threatening again to go up by 2 touchdowns.
You know, this is a position Cabot was in last game. They were racking up points in a hurry, but were stopped.
Alex Day again. He'll try and power his way into the end zone. He'll get stopped short. Gain of 1 on the play. And they'll bring in Easton Seidel out there at defensive line. Kid's really been a star this back half of the season at that position. He's really been blowing it up. See if they'll stuff him here again or if North Little Rock will pass the ball into the end zone, recognizing this defensive line change. Instead, they'll hand it off to Alex again, and he'll march into the end zone. Another easy touchdown for North Little Rock. He just walked into the end zone, dragging defenders with him in North Little Rock.
Day is flexing his muscles right now, running all over this defense. Cabot, they did a good job of keying up on him, but when you let up on Day, they're going to the passing game. They got a lot of weapons. Defense is working hard, but they got to work on stopping them both.
This will be a really tough game to win for Cabot. Is North Little Rock's offense. They are red hot right now, clicking at just the right moment. Here is the extra points to go up. And they'll go up by 2 touchdowns. They'll score to 21-7 with 2:38 remaining. This broadcast is brought to you by the AAA Arkansas Activities Association and by Cabot High School Television. As Cabot goes down early in the first quarter. Looking at a 14-point deficit, see if their offense can turn it around and bring the momentum over on Cabot's side. They have Flores and Morris back there to receive the kick.
Interesting, we're not seeing Barnes back returning kicks. He returned kicks for the majority of the year, but after his injury, they're looking to protect him and keep him out of there.
Yeah, he was a really good special teams guy. You know, like I said, he's really good in the open field, so they really like him to get back there in the return game. However, that game against Conway, that opening kickoff in the second half, tore his leg up, and haven't seen much of him back there since. Seen a couple plays, but not much.
Hey, I'm not getting them on the radio. Is the radio working?
It's a kick. They'll send it back to Austin Morse again. Receive it at the 16-yard line. He'll get some blockers out there. He'll get wrapped up at about the 33-yard line. Cabot will take over.
Okay. All right. Do you copy?
Well, they'll leave Easton out on the field back there in the fullback position. He's getting a lot of playing time here on offense and defense as he came out for that last defensive series. No, Cabot's got to score points here. They do not want to go down to North Little Rock.
No,
early.
That would be an extremely
Be a
difficult hole to
very
follow.
hard to come back against this very good defensive team. North Little Rock tries to get that option play covered up. They'll cover up Barnes, and he'll be forced to pitch it out to Austin, who will pick up what looks like he'll be just short of the first down, pickup of 9 on the play.
You know, Morris may take a little bit longer to get up to speed as Barnes and Day, but once he gets out to the outside, he's got some pretty
He's
moderate
very quick. He's
quick
very
speed.
quick, and he's very, very physical when it comes to running that football. He's not afraid to lower the shoulder. In fact, he really encourages it. He really likes lowering shoulder, popping pads, and they're looking at a 2nd and 1 here.
Now, one of the things about this Cabot team is the heart. You know, this team, Cabot, not usually blessed with a lot of athleticism, height, but they make up for it in heart, and they work hard day in and day out in the weight room. They look to get stronger. They get as strong as they can be and play with as much power and enthusiasm and energy as they can.
They really do. They don't produce as much Division I athletes as schools like North Little Rock and Fayetteville do. However, they are a true contender. They got a couple of players up their sleeves. May not be real crazy as far as recruitment goes. They have some really good players out there as they'll pitch it out to Morse again. He'll get some blocks. He's in the open space. He'll get it to the 2nd level. He'll pick up a nice gain there. Get out to the 39-yard line of North Little Rock. A big first down for Cabot, and their offense is rolling.
Like you were saying, it says wonders about the coaching staff at Cabot and the heart of the city and the players and everybody that comes through Cabot High School for the players and the results that you have season in and season out to be so good with not having the talent pool like a North Little Rock or a Conway. Or
they can still compete. They find ways to compete.
They find ways to compete even though they have a smaller pool of talent, just like the other schools in the 7A. But it's wonderful to watch. Cabot football and all sports in Cabot are just great to watch. I think they put the most heart in the 7A.
Barnes hands it off to Easton Seidel. He'll get a nice gain on first down, bring up 2nd down, and what looks to be 5. He'll pick up 5 yards on the carry. Easton's one of those running backs where you just hand the ball off and he'll just run over some defenders. He'll carry some with him. He's very, very strong kid, and he'll run. He loves to run it in the trenches there. So he'll pick up some nice yards. He'll hand it off to him again. He'll fall forward. Only gain what looks like a 2 on the play. So it'll look like, no, they'll give him 3. Cabot looks at a 3rd and 3 on the play. 50 seconds remaining in the half. North Little Rock's up 21-7 as Cabot is moving the ball here on offense. So they'll face another 3rd down. Barnes will hand it off again. Easton, big hole. And he'll take it down to the 25-yard line. Another big play for Cabot, picking up that first down.
Next year you can catch Easton. He'll be in a green uniform playing for University of Arkansas at Monticello. He'll be a boll weevil, which, Division I, Division II, Division III, Division IV, whatever you want to call it, regardless, these players are college athletes and they're getting their school paid for doing something that they love, which can't fault them for that no matter where they go.
Definitely right. Barnes look at the option again. He'll pitch it out to Morse yet again. He'll get some open space. He'll almost get a block and almost shake another tackle off. As Josh Beck will come over. Well, excuse me, Jalen Grizzly over there on the stop. for North Little Rock. And that'll be an end of the first quarter. Your score is 21-7, brought to you by Cabot High School Television and AAA Arkansas Activities Association. Trey, what's your thoughts about the first quarter?
You know, both teams have had great offensive plays showing explosiveness. North Little Rock showing just a hint more of explosiveness, exploiting some secondary with the Cabot. But Cabot's keying in on the run, and they're going to the pass. They key back out on the pass, and they're going back down to the run. Both teams are having a little bit of trouble with penalties here, but North Little Rock's defense just a little too quick for that Cabot was ready for. But both teams playing fairly well football right now.
Yeah, you said they both have a couple penalties that back them up. Cabot at one point was looking at a 1st and 20 off of 2 back-to-back false start penalties called against them. But now their offense ever since then has really been rolling. And they've had they've had 2 drives that have really been stuffed by North Little Rock. And they're looking here as their offense is rolling yet again, looking at a 2nd down and 2 situation. As they look to tire out that North Little Rock defense, just running the ball right down their throat, play in and play out. Defense like that, or with an offense like that, you can really tire out a defense and maintain that time of possession. But here, you really got to score with Cabot. You can't go down at halftime to this team. They're really good, really explosive, like you said. You cannot be down at halftime against this team and expect to win this football game. It's a really hard team to climb back against.
You're right. North Little Rock's a great team. They play great in the first half, but they are a second-half team. They come roaring back every second half.
And they did against Cabot in Week 10.
Jamie Mitchell, a Hall of Fame coach in Mississippi, has many years, won state championships there, retired in Mississippi. North Little Rock called him up, got him here, and he's got this program back on track, and they're rolling. It brings years and years of experience. He knows how to get players fired up, and that's another advantage he has over teams in the 7A at halftime. Brings all his experience and knows how to get in his players' heads and get them rolling again for the second half.
And it looks like Cabot, they're going to have to bring the chain. No, they'll call a 1st down. And Cabot gets another 1st down at what looks like to be the 15-yard line. And they're moving the ball down the field at will, running the ball right down their throats with Easton Seidel and Austin Morris doing the damage. Of course, Austin been more around the outside today on that option play. See what Barnes has here. He'll hand it off to Easton yet again. Won't get anything on the play. He'll be stuffed immediately. Looking at a 2nd down and 10 situation as North Little Rock just blew that play up. Completely closed that hole. There was nothing there, and it'll be a no gain for Cabot.
Okay, I have signal from their camera. I'll let you know when you're up.
Barnes looks to drop back to pass. He's got pressure on him. He'll throw one up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's just going to be incomplete.
That was
nearly
close.
Intercepted. A wild ball thrown there by Gerard. Should not have been thrown. He had double coverage out there on the receiver, and you really just can't give that ball up. He does that all the time, really. He'll get in some pressure. He'll just heave one up there in hopes of the receiver making the play. But you can't do that against this really good North Little Rock defense. He's got to throw that ball away.
Right. We can speculate next year he may be on the receiving end of those passes. He may be the one catching those at Arkansas as a slot back. We may even see him in the secondary or returning kicks. You don't know, but here he is again. This time he's going to be
in trouble.
Sacked.
He'll try to escape. He's going to get sacked on the play. It's a big loss there for Cabot.
Fans are
offensive
roaring
line.
here.
The struggle continues. Gerard goes down for a sack. It'll be 3rd and long, where we seem like they were knocking on the door there. And they're looking at, a huge 4th down here. And they're going to have to bring out the field goal unit.
Looks like Ironside's Mason Barton will trot out onto the field.
And he'll try to connect with a 39-yard field goal. But not before Cabot will call a timeout. This broadcast brought to you by AAA Arkansas Activity Association and Cabot High School Television. Cabot looking to put more points on the board with a field goal here to make it 21-10 with 10:03 remaining. I think Coach Black here really wants to make sure that Mason Martin has really got this kicked in, because they've got to come away with some points here. It'd be really big for them. And their defense has got to make some stops on the other side of the ball.
Interesting here, we may see some Savannah Melton action. North Little Rock's kicker, female kicker, running around on the sideline, getting her legs warmed up.
She's a really really talented kicker she is, but I think that will be number 30, Gilbert, out there. He's a middle linebacker, actually, out there running around, trying to keep warmed up.
Regardless, somebody was warming up down there.
Let's see if Cabot can kick in this field goal. Oh, no, they'll split it out. They're going to go
Speeding out
for
to
it.
the outside.
They'll send trips out. Gerard's looking to run it. No, he's looking to throw it. He'll throw the ball.
Picked.
It's picked. Oh, no, he'll drop the football. It was a sure interception. Just fell out of his hands. Nevertheless, North Little Rock will take over on downs at the 22-yard line. Looked like the receiver just fell down out there. Not really sure what happened on the play. But really, North Little Rock should have had that pick. It was right in his hands. He just dropped it. He knows he's frustrated with himself.
North Little Rock's secondary has been back there all night. Can't be thrown into double coverage when the defense is in your face like that.
He's
got to be
trying
paying
to make
attention to
something
personnel.
happen. Trying to make something happen, but you got to be careful with those throws. And he really didn't have a lot of running room either. He had some, but that secondary would have covered it up pretty quick. Don't really think he would have gotten the first down, as Cabot will stuff a run here. Only pick up a 1 on the play. See if Cabot's defensive line can really step up. They had a really good game last week against Bentonville West. Defensive standout, really, for Deontay Roberts. Had a really good third quarter, the second half in general. Sykes making some changes at the line. He'll send a man in motion. He's looking to pass. He'll have a man open. He gets another big gain over there. Cale Eddington over to make the stop. And again, the North Little Rock offense is exploiting the weakness of the Cabot secondary.
You're right.
They've been throwing
Cabot
over them all
secondary's
night.
been hurt in the last couple games.
They really have. Now, the only thing, though, he's been heaving some balls over some receivers, to some open receivers. He'll get another play action here. Get another good pass. That'll be number 10, Deontay Montgomery, junior. Only 5'7", 145. Not the biggest wide receiver out there. He has some great speed, though. And he'll put on the brakes, and he'll get a nice gain. They're looking at second and what looks to be a yard.
Ashton, I bet we'll see Montgomery out there on the track in the spring.
No, they'll give him the first down here. They'll hand it off to Alex. He'll bump it to his defender, and he'll get onto the second level yet again with Dylan Smith on the stop. Not before he can pick up 9 yards on the play. Looking at 2nd and 1 for North Little Rock.
If you're the Panthers defense and you're standing straight up trying to bring down Day,
it's not going to work.
Working out. You got to hit him below the belt. That's where you make form tackles and take them down. But there a lot of tackles from Cabot standing straight up.
He just bounced off his own offensive lineman, evaded a tackle, and they got out to second level where he was met by Dylan Smith, the senior safety. He'll get tripped up on the defensive line, but he will pick up the first down. They'll mark the ball out on the 41-yard line. North Little Rock, their offense is moving again, and they're a force to be reckoned with. And they're a real threat, especially in the passing game, as we've seen tonight. Alex again, he'll bounce to the outside and breaks a tackle. The flag will be thrown.
Looks like maybe a late hit over there. Pushed
Yeah,
out.
it looks like it's going to be a late hit out of bounds against Cabot. Wait to get the call from the official for the official word.
Looked like Eric Larson.
No, I don't think that was Eric Larson. Eric Larson tried wrapping him up in the open field, then got shoved off. Potentially going to be Austin Swackhammer, perhaps. No, it's going to be a block in the back against North Little Rock. And I can actually see where that call came from. It was Eric Lawson was wrapping up, and he got shoved off from the back by a North Little Rock defender. So he'll back him up. It'll be first down and 15 for the Charging Wildcats. They'll back him up to their 46-yard line, to the Cabot 46-yard line, excuse me. And they'll pitch it out. Oh, no. He'll throw it deep.
It's like you said earlier.
Overshot.
He's got wide open receivers. He's just not hitting them tonight. Cox is overthrowing his receivers big time.
Well, that wasn't Cox. That'll be number 17. Oh, that's their backup quarterback, David Chappell. He's a wide receiver and a quarterback. He's a junior. He's got some arm talent out there, but he just wasn't able to connect there on the deep ball. Had a man open, overshot it.
Well,
Could have been.
Since that was Chappell, I guess that both quarterbacks have a habit of overthrowing receivers.
It really does look like it so far. Cox had a couple thrown over, almost intercepted a couple, almost had them picked off, a couple of them. He'll get another open receiver.
He's on the money that time.
That'll be number 9, Carlos Gordon. Oh, no. Yeah, excuse me. On the reception. It's another big play in the passing game for North Little Rock, having huge success on all aspects of offense. They've been really pounding on this Cabot defense as they look to build an even bigger lead. Now hand off to Alex again. He'll break a couple tackles.
Alex is just mowing down defenders right now.
He really is, and that's Justin Neighbors out there on the stop for Cabot. And you see that defense is getting frustrated. They are getting trampled out there by Alex. Oh, just missed him out there on the screen. So it's going to be third down now for North Little Rock. Cabot's got to make a stop here. North Little Rock, like you said, has some really talented kickers, can kick that field goal. But it'll be a huge momentum swing if Cabot can get this stop here with 6:20 remaining in the half. As they'll bring Thomas McCauley out of the game and bring in Darlis Austin in the fullback spot. They'll give it to Day. Day gets the first down and more. He's dragging Daigle out inside the 10-yard line down to the 7, where it's a first and goal for North Little Rock. Well, he was just dragging him out there inside the 10-yard line. As he'll pick up another critical first down for North Little Rock.
North Little Rock's just playing simple ball right now. Right
Just running the ball right down their throat, and it is working. Alex is so strong at the point of attack inside the trenches, and he's really showing it this half. Timeout's going to be taken by North Little Rock with 5:53 remaining in this half. And this broadcast is brought to you by AAA Arkansas Activity Association and by Cabot High School Television. As North Little Rock's knocking on the door, looking to produce an even bigger lead as they're already up by 14 points. Looking to go up even more by potentially 21. It'd be a 3-possession lead for North Little Rock, and that'll be big going in to the second half.
You're right, it will.
You know, Coach Black's trying to get this defense situated. They've been killing them. They've been killing that defensive line, and you see Coach Jay out there getting on to them for not stopping
Coach
that
Jay's
run. He's been
fired
running.
up.
He's been running that. They've been running the ball down their throat every single time, and you know, Coach Jay really has got to get that fixed if Cabot wants a shot at winning this football game. They got to protect the running game from North Little Rock. As their offense will trot back onto the field, looking to punch the ball into the end zone. And they'll split 3 receivers out wide. Cap defense trying to get settled. They'll get a huge pounding on defensive line, but not before Alex can dive across the end zone line. That'll be another North Little Rock touchdown, as it is 27-7 quick.
They're racking up on points in a hurry here.
They really are. They are averaging, I think they're averaging, 21 points just in the first quarter alone? And they're
right.
And they're at 27 right now, midway through the second. Here's the extra point attempt. And it is going to be good as North Little Rock putting the heat on Cabot. 28-7 as they look to continue their perfect record headed in to the semifinals. Cabot's really got to get something going offensively here with a nice kick return. They'll put Barnes back there. They're looking to get a kick return. They're looking to get some really nice yards. You got to be really careful.
Barnes is super explosive back there.
He really is. North Little Rock's got to be careful. They do not want to kick it to him. But Cabot will do everything they can to get into his hands. Wouldn't be surprised to see if they kick it short, they're going to lateral it back to him. Wouldn't be surprised if they did. Well, you'll see Barnes. He's going to run all back there. He's going to try to get that football. He loves the football in his hands. As North Little Rock set to kick it away. Now Allen's on the kick. He'll kick it deep to Austin. He'll receive it at the 1-yard line. He's not going to give it to Gerard. Wow. He'll get a huge hit.
Flag comes in.
Flags come in.
Either
Looks
face
like
mask or horse collar.
It's going to be 1 and 2. He was hit hard. We'll see what the call is here. As Cabot looks to have great field position off of that penalty. Yeah, it's going to be a horse collar against North Little Rock. Big, big penalty there. As you get a great defensive, not much of a return there for Austin. However, that horse collar penalty is going to move them up to the 33-yard line where Cabot will get some decent field position to start this drive with 5:41 remaining. They'll go back to the dead seat formation with Easton Seidel back there at fullback. They'll give it to him. Pick up only a couple on the play as he's just been grounding and pounding and eating up those yards, those short yard plays, and they'll really eat up that time of possession, what Cabot likes to do. However, they're not producing the points right now, which is also very, very important.
Time of holding the ball and eating clock right now is the opposite of what they need to do.
Really is. They've got to score before they go into the second half. But they do, honestly, they probably really do want to eat up this clock and try to score right before they go into half because they do get the ball drawn. He's under pressure. He'll get sacked again. North Little Rock defensive line. It's just too much tonight for the offensive line. Too much for them to handle.
You don't want to give the ball back to North Little Rock again before halftime. See if Cabot can eat up some more clock. Now I guess they want to eat up the clock now because they're struggling on offense. They need to limp into the locker room and figure out what's going on.
Well, they really do need to build up some offensive momentum here. They do want to drain the clock, but it's only 4:39 remaining. As they'll split out receivers, draws in the shotgun. He'll keep the football, and he'll get bounced off of a defender. He gets into the open field. He'll get a block, pick up the first down. He's dragged out of bounds. Looks to be they'll give him the 48-yard line. Huge play there for Barnes.
That was a great move by him. He tried to go up the middle, wasn't there, got hit and bounced off and went right outside.
Yeah, he tried to go, like you said, tried to go up the middle. Looked like he got smoked in the trenches in there, but instead he bounces off, and he's able to come up with some huge yards there with 4:23 remaining. They'll look to eat up some clock here, and they'll look to score on the very last second if they have to. They'll get the ball to start the second half, and they'll split out some more receivers. Barnes will be all alone back there. He'll keep the ball. He's wrapped up quick. Loss on the play.
They're not going to let that happen twice in a row.
They're really not. It's going to be a loss of 3 on the play. It's going to be second down and 13 from the 45-yard line. And this North Little Rock defense is showing out tonight.
You're right. They have some big playmakers on that team, and they're so quick. You know, you snap the ball, you got a misread on the offensive line or a misread by your quarterback. They're going to hop on it and be back there in a second.
Gerard Barnes sling the football. It's just going to be little overthrown. It's going to be a flag. Curious to see what this is. Possibly pass interference against North Little Rock. Wait to get the call here.
North Little Rock coach Jamie Mitchell will walk out to the 50 to consult with the referee.
Yeah, he does not agree with the call whatsoever. Here's the call. It is going to be a pass interference on the defense. Wow. What a call. It's a first down for Cabot, and they really just called a break there.
They sure did. You know, the offense was stagnant, but maybe this will get them started here with 3:42 left in the first half.
Yeah, it looked like to me, you know, Coach wanted uncatchable ball there, says it was out in front of him just a little bit too much, but the refs not having it. They're going to call the penalty. Cabot will have it on the 40-yard line. Barnes look to pass again. He'll get it out to John Weens.
Big hit. He's popped.
Big hit.
Ball looked to come out. North Little Rock
lost
thinks
the
they
football.
have it.
Instead, looks like they're probably going to mark him down. They will. John Weens a little slow to get up. He got popped.
He sure did. That was a big hit. Right on our side of the field, you could see vividly what a hit that was.
It's one of those hits that just knocks your head back. And North Little Rock thought they had the football there for a minute, said the ball popped out, but ref's going to mark them down, and it'll be second down and 8 with 3:08 in running. Cabot trying to punch the ball in the end zone and make it only a 14-point lead heading to the locker room for North Little Rock. They'll get it off to Braxton. He'll almost loses it there, bobbles the handoff. He'll pick up some yards. So they're looking at a 3rd down and 6. Interesting to see what Malham will draw up here. Still sending Colin Timms to give Gerard the play. And they'll keep this more spread out offense out there instead of rather than the dead T formation. Gerard flushed outside. He'll heave a ball downfield for Timms. Just outside, incomplete. It'll be 4th down for Cabot, thrown way out of bounds. So with 2:18 remaining in the first half, It's going to be 4th down for Cabot. It looks like they're going to go for it here. Really surprising play call. It's 4th down and 6.
Yeah.
Malham likes the 4th.
If you fail here, you give North Little Rock great field position.
You're absolutely right. Malham loves going for it on 4th down. However, if they do fail, like you said, they're going to have great field position. Cabot looks to hurry up. They're going to send trips out to the right side. Barnes is going to keep it. Barnes gets some space. Barnes with the 1st down and more. He'll give a hurdle. Get out of bounds. Looks to be the 15-yard line. What a run by Barnes with a hurdle on the end. Oh, and they'll call him for it right there. Hurdling is illegal in high school football, and they'll call him for it right there. It looks to be.
I don't like that rule in high school football.
Well, it's one more of those more safety precautionary calls. You know, it's one of those really risky plays that Barnes tries to make. But, you know, it comes up with some results, really good results sometimes really bad, really dangerous. They're going to call him for it here. Referees are deferring right now about the call, about the marking of the football. Malham is livid about that call right there. He does not like it whatsoever. They will call him for a hurdle. Back him up down to the 30-yard line, excuse me.
That's a big loss of play there for a hurdle.
Really is. It's still going to be a 1st down. However, they'll lose a lot of yards right there. To lose 15 on
They'll mark them right back up to where they were on that 4th down just a few seconds ago.
Cabot will have 1st and 10 on the 30-yard line with 2:09 remaining. Gutsy call there on 4th down, but it'll produce positive results as Barnes looks back to pass. He'll take it up the middle instead. He'll shake a couple tackles, but
ball almost came out.
Almost came out. He tries to stick it out to get an extra yard. He'll pick up 5 on the play. But that's a gutsy play there by Barnes trying to stick the ball out to get that extra yard.
He's risking his body going straight up the middle like that.
Not only that, he can fumble the ball, sticking the ball out like that. Very poor ball security right there. So he'll hand it off to Burton. He'll get out to the 20-yard line. Depending on the spot, he may have the 1st down. They'll mark him just short of the 20-yard line. It'll be a 3rd down short situation for Cabot. Very quick play call here for Cabot. Seeing the shotgun formation, very surprising. Barnes is going to keep it. He'll get a big hole. Shake one tackle, get hit hard out of bounds. Back down to the 16-yard line.
Cabot's, I like to see them spread the offense out here. They're spreading it out. Get some good plays out of this.
It's not very often you see Cabot spread it out, but when you do, they're very dangerous. Gerard likes to run. Gerard likes to throw. He's a very real threat. And you open up that offense, a lot of possibilities can happen. There's only 1:15 remaining in this half.
Yeah, you're right. Not often you see Cabot spread out, but North Little Rock's left them no choice, and it may be for the better. Cabot looks to be driving down the field
Barnes
here.
looks to throw again. He'll get a receiver open. That's Morse. As he'll get down to the 1-yard line.
1:05 left in the 1st half. The clock is rolling.
It'll be a 1st and goal for Cabot on the 1-yard line. As they're looking to cut this lead down to only 14 headed into the locker room. What a second effort there by Austin Morris. Looked like he was about to be tackled the second he made that catch, but he just cut back and gets the extra yards out to the 1-yard line.
You're right. Great play there. A little bit of a stop and go from Morris. He got the 1st down and almost scored.
Almost did. Just tries to dive for it. Doesn't quite get it. The clock rolling. Just 1 minute remaining. Cabot's trying to punch the ball in. It's going to be Barnes. He'll throw it out
Wide
to
open.
Flores. No coverage out there. It's going to be a quick, easy touchdown for Cabot. This broadcast brought to you by AAA, Arkansas Activities Association. And with 56 seconds remaining. Cabot scores their second touchdown of the night to potentially cut the lead down to 14 points.
Looks like Ironsides, Mason Martin will kick the extra point here. High snap. They're not going to get it.
Dylan looks to make a play.
Smith will get dragged down after the play. Wow, high snap. Ironsides didn't get a chance to kick it that time.
The try is going to be no good, and it's still going to be a two-possession game. However, North Little Rock leads by 15, 28-13 with 56 seconds remaining.
No, Ashton's bringing back the flashbacks from the last game when Cabot did that. Sepet was they blocked North Little Rock's, but North Little Rock was able to pick it up and throw it in for the two-point conversion.
It's really been a turn of events since the last game. Cabot's defense showed out at the last game against North Little Rock. However, North Little Rock's offense really high power tonight. They have some real weapons. If they've shown it, they can beat you deep, they can beat you in the trenches, and that's what they've done all night to the Cabot defense.
Okay, just hang on. It's still scanning.
I'll check on another case at halftime.
We have glare, you know.
Well, they solved it by raising the windows, so.
Well, yeah. We can't get under that.
Cabot looked to kick it off here. Looking to potentially hold North Little Rock to only a 15-point lead heading into the locker room. They will get the ball. However, you got to make a stop first. You got to hold Alex Day and that high-powered offense to no points in 56 seconds. They got a dangerous kicker, like you said. And they'll give a sky kick, returnable. They'll fall forward. They'll get it out to the 29-yard line, where they'll take over 1st and 10.
They'll have just under a minute to see if they can get down the field and get some points.
Honestly, wouldn't surprise me, though. This is a very fast, very high-powered offense. Shouldn't be a problem for them to get down the field. However, Cabot defense got to step up here, got to step up big and hold them to no points.
Yeah. Oh, I got your camera back. Okay, you're up.
See what North Little Rock runs here. It'll be interesting to see what kind of offense they run. As they'll fake the run here. Deep pass, almost caught.
And Cale Eddington wants a flag there for a push-off.
Great defense by Cale. Receiver did push off a little bit, but no flag thrown either way. Good no call.
Looks to be uncatchable there. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 with 49 seconds remaining. As North Little Rock looking to score, they've shown it. They want the ball deep. They'll play action again. He's got a receiver open.
Needs to get to the outside, or the sideline, that is. He won't get there.
The first down. He'll stay in bounds. No, they'll stop the clock. Perhaps just to move the chains.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know
First down.
I don't know if the official's going to keep the clock rolling or if he's going to stop it. Right, bet if he got out of bounds or not. I don't think he did. It'll be very curious to see.
Flag is down.
Flag's down. They're going to back him up. Didn't get the call there.
Legal motion on North Little Rock. Back him up 5 yards.
So instead of a first down, they'll back them up. 2nd down and 15 with 40 seconds remaining. Looking to get the call here.
Yeah, I'll put it on one. I guess that one would be good for the back.
Look for a quick slant route. And he's into the open field. Just gets tripped up there by Gerard Barnes out there in the safety position. Doesn't want to get beat deep, so Gerard's back there. Has great hands. And, you know, he's looking to pick off anything that comes his way. He's just able to make the touchdown-saving tackle over there with the aid of Cale Eddington. They'll stop him on the 50-yard line. Clock continues to run. Just 33 seconds remaining. Clock's rolling. And they'll get a false start penalty
Whistle
here.
dead.
That offense so fast, and they're trying to get the ball off so quick to score before this time runs out. However, it does not work out in the favor that time. As they'll be called for a false start penalty. It's going to be 1st and 15 with 28 seconds left, and they'll march Easton Seidel in there on the defensive line, trying to get some pressure on that quarterback. Gerard Barnes deep back there on his own 35-yard line, looking to let everything stay in front of him, not let himself get beat deep. Look for another quick slant route. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket. He's going to have to throw it away. Called incomplete with 17 seconds remaining. It's going to be a 3rd and long situation for North Little Rock.
You know, North Little Rock's trying to go so fast. They made some mistakes, and now their offense is stalled.
Yeah, that defensive line just got some amazing pressure that time. And they're going to be called for another flag down. They're going to call intentional grounding.
Which also results in a loss of down. So that'll bring up. He'll lose it down here. Get backed up and lose it down.
Going to say a receiver wasn't in the area. And North Little Rock's going to take a timeout. Very questionable call there. As it looked, he was way out of the tackle box. However, they're going to say the receiver wasn't in the area. That's going to be the call. But either way, it's going to be 3rd and forever, as they're on their own 36-yard line. They have to get to the Cabot 40 to get that first down to keep the drive alive, with only 17 seconds remaining. So North Little Rock offense will trot back onto the field. Trying to produce some points here before they head into the locker rooms. Cabot will get the kickoff to start the 3rd quarter. Barnes standing back at his own 48-yard line. They'll give a quick screen out.
What a play.
Barnes knocks him out of bounds. Looks to be 4th and 6. Huge play there by North Little Rock. Get him out into open space very, very fast.
11 seconds left until halftime. That play will stop the clock. But
it'll look like they'll have a couple more plays. It'll be 4th down here regardless. They have to pick up a 4th down and 6 before they can think about punching into the end zone. Standing at their own 46-yard line. Well, I'm sorry, the Cabot 46-yard line. And another timeout is going to be taken by North Little Rock. This broadcast being brought to you by Cabot High School Television and the Arkansas Activities Association. And this is a very, very important time for your defense if you're Cabot. You got to keep North Little Rock out of the end zone. You cannot go down big at halftime, like I said earlier. This is a very high-powered offense. You do not want to go down.
You're right. There's a lot of difference in being down 35-13.
And 28-13.
Right.
It's still a 2-possession football game. At 28-13, with only leading by 15 points. But if you go in the locker room down big at halftime, you lose your confidence. You cannot lose your confidence against this very good North Little Rock football team. And it looks like North Little Rock's going to have to punt here. Looks like they'll send Gerard back down to receive this punt, standing at his own 15-yard line. They almost drew Cabot off sides there.
Barnes
that was
is
very,
dangerous
very
back
close. They'll give a high punt, and he does not want anything to do with that. Take that back. He'll take the football. He'll try to create some space. He'll have to duck. It's a very hard hit there at the 10. Take that back at 13. 1 second on the clock. Cabot will have one play. See if Gerard will take a shot deep.
See if they'll take a knee or a shot deep.
I wouldn't be surprised with either outcome, really. You know, they really want to score. They got to score, honestly, headed into the locker room. If they score right here, it'll be a huge momentum swing headed Cabot's way, going into the locker room only down by one possession, if they can. But it's going to be a tough task. They got to go. Looks to be 84 yards here. Sorry, 87 yards. They're standing at the 13-yard line. No, they're going to take a knee here.
Yeah, right.
They're going to head into the locker room. North Little Rock leading Cabot 28-13 at the end of the first half. Cabot has they won the toss to start the game, and they've deferred to the second half, so they will receive the football. This broadcast being brought to you by Cabot High School Television and AAA Arkansas Activity Association. We'll be back with the third quarter of North Little Rock Cabot 7A state semifinal playoff. All right.
That's good. That's great.
All right. Back with second half action with North Little Rock and Cabot. As North Little Rock's up 28-13, heading to the second half. Cabot will receive the kickoff to start this half. North Little Rock was red hot on offense. Cabot unable to come away with some key stops there. They kept getting beat over the top. And then Alex Day running all over him in the trenches. However, on the flip side of the ball, Gerard Barnes had a couple of really big plays on offense. Easton Sato got a couple yards per carry. They're able to eat up the time of possession for Cabot. And Cabot was getting away with some really good penalties that were going their way there at the end. However, they were unable to generate some points as they were stopped on a fourth down. It was just unable to come away with any points there as they stopped them. And North Little Rock tried to drive the ball downfield. They had to punt. And then Cabot forced to take a knee, headed to the locker room. That's really been the story. Cabot just getting trampled on by North Little Rock's offense.
Yeah, you're right. Day was running all over this Cabot defense, and you got to stop them here in the second half if they want to win.
Now Gerard Barnes back there deep to receive the kick along with Austin Morse. As we get set for the second half, this stream is brought to you by Cabot High School Television and AAA Arkansas Activities Association. As North Little Rock sets to kick the ball off to start this half in the 7A state quarterfinal matchup. Cab's got to make some adjustments on defense to kind of just slow the tempo down of North Little Rock and get a couple of key stops. It's only a two-possession ball game when they're down by 15.
You know, Cabot started playing better at the end of that first half. They got to keep that tempo up if they want to win this ball game.
They started building some momentum on offense. Got a couple bad defensive stances. Easton will field the kick here. They'll have great field position starting at their own 38-yard line.
You know, I understand that Morse and Barnes are dangerous, but I'm not so sure that I understand why they're kicking it just about to the 30.
You'd have really had about the same field position, if not worse for Cabot, is saying North Little Rock has a great stand there in the return. However, trotted out onto the field and looked to lead this offense to some points and make it a one-possession football game as they'll line up in the dead tee with Barnes under center.
North Little Rock still stacking the box here. Ooh.
And Easton with a big hole. He'll take it to the secondary, run over a defender, picks up 15 yards. And they'll mark the ball out at the 47-yard line. Great run there by Easton.
Takes guts to make a play call like that work for Cabot. North Little Rock stacks the box. They stick to their guns, go straight up the middle, still get 15 yards.
They'll go back to textbook football, running the ball up the gut, working that defensive line. And they'll stack that offensive line. They'll give it to Easton again, and they'll power forward down to the 44-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play. This will be second down and 6 for Cabot as Braxton Burton checks into the ball game. Gerard's going to have to pull that ball out, it looks like. Or no, it looks like actually Easton got the handoff. Looks almost as if Barnes pulled that ball out as if to keep it. But no, Easton will take the football, stuff for no gain. Be 3rd and 6 to start this third quarter.
It's like Cabot switching things up here. Maybe go with new look on offense.
No, they'll stay in the dead tee formation.
They'll stay right in the dead tee.
They spread it out more in the first half. Gerard looking back to throw.
Wide open Morse in the middle of the field.
Morse just overthrows him. Another opportunity missed for Cabot. See what Malham wants to do here. Will he elect to go for it? Critical call here in the ball game.
It'll be interesting to see if Cabot continues to go with the spread. You know, the spread has been open for Cabot a lot in this game, but it's not clicking. The receiver to quarterback combination, or the quarterback to receiver combination, is not working like they would need it to continue in the spread offense. So it'll be interesting to see if they get that going.
It looks like they'll spread it out. They'll send 3 receivers out.
Oh, he jumped across the line.
They'll call dead ball, false start on Cabot. Now back him up 5. Now we'll see if Malham will continue to go for it here. No, he will not. He'll bring out the punt unit. North Little Rock will make a defensive stand to start this third quarter with 10:30 remaining. It'll be 4th down.
That penalty definitely hurt Cabot. They were rolling in great field position.
Looked like they had a nice. I honestly thought they felt like they had a really nice shot to convert that 4th down, but after that penalty, they'll back them up 5, be 4th and 11. Malham doesn't like it. Bring out Eric Larson to punt.
See if Larson can pin them deep here. Kicks it up.
He's going to get a nice kick, wobbly kick. Go back, and he'll be stopped dead at the 15-yard line. North Little Rock will take over. And here comes that high-powered offense we've seen so much of tonight. See if that momentum on offense continues to swing for them. Alex Day along with Kevin Wallace in the backfield. 2 very good high-powered running backs. And they'll give it to Kevin, who will pick up nice yardage on that 1st down. Close to the 1st down mark. Looks like they'll spot him just short. It'll be 2nd and 1 on the play.
You know, Kevin, a freshman, we'll see a lot of him in the future. Very good for a freshman.
Very good, very fast, very elusive, as we've seen at times. They'll continue to stay in that 2-back formation. This time they'll give it to Day. Day stops short. No, they'll give him the 1st down. No, they will not. It looks like they'll just mark him short. It'll be 3rd and inches here. Alex Day unable to come up with the 1st down yardage. This Cabot defense looks to make a stand of their own. Third and inches here. See who they'll give it to. I imagine Alex Day. See if they'll give it to Kevin Wallace here on a short yardage situation. Make some changes. And Alex will try to bounce to the outside. It's going to be close.
Tackle, but
it's going to be close.
Was all over that one.
They'll stop him on 3rd down. It's going to be 4th and inches. Will Coach Coach Mitchell elect to go for it here on 4th in the length of a football. They will go for it. They'll keep this same formation here. Cabot defense looking to make a huge stop. They'll give it to Day. Day. Looks like they've made the stop. They'll mark them short, it looks like.
Cabot's sidelines jumping up and down.
They think they've got it. Think they'll bring the chains out here to make the measurement.
This will be great field position for Cabot. Huge. This will be a huge play.
Momentum swing. They're going to bring the chain. No, they're going to call Cabot football. Great field position for Cabot. What a defensive stand there by the defensive line to stop Alex Day from getting that 1st down.
They took the bait that North Little Rock threw out there. North Little Rock just gave him the ball right on the 30-yard line.
They really did. That was great penetration by that defensive line to get through and stop Alex on that very, very key play there on 4th down. Now, Cabot will trot onto the field in the dead T formation. Barnes will give it off to Braxton Burton. Look, they'll give him forward progress on the 20-yard line. Nice pick up there. Looks to be a 6-yard gain for Cabot. See if Cabot can generate some points off that nice defensive stand there. North Little Rock stuffs that run for no gain on the play. Was that number 33, Adam Flores, just get back to the line of scrimmage before he is popped and stopped for no gain. It'll be third down and a long 4 to go for Cabot. And this crowd's getting into it.
Stuffing up the dead T here.
They're going to go
Barnes
with
up
the
the middle.
option. Barnes is going to get close.
He's close. Go either way here.
Look like they'll mark him down at the 15-yard line. If, depending on the spot, they'll give him the first down. Indeed, they will. First down, Cabot on the 15-yard line.
Cabot's playing well right now. They decide to go in the second half and start off playing small ball here. Back to the fundamentals, up the middle. It's working so far.
Then they decide to get that option, and draw will cut it back inside, and he'll pick up the first down. See what they'll like to do here. They'll hand it off to Burton. Burton will pick up 4 on the play to the 11-yard line. Or it'll be second down and 6 for Cabot. With 6:47 to go, this stream being brought to you by Cabot High School Television and AAA, Arkansas Athletic Association. Cabot knocking on the door here to make it a one-possession football game. North Little Rock calls a timeout. Trey, how vital was that defensive stand there by Cabot as far as momentum?
That was huge. You know, North Little Rock took a huge risk just laying it out there for Cabot on the 30-yard line. And Cabot jumped on it, pounced on it, took the opportunity. Now they have the ball inside North Little Rock's red zone.
Yeah, it was very, very big for the Cabot defense. Very impressive, honestly. They got through that offensive line like crazy. They were hungry for Alex Day. They wanted him, and they got him, and they stuffed him.
That's right. They saw the opportunity that was being laid out in front of them, and they put everything into it, crashed the offensive line, and got the stop.
If Cabot's going to go on to win this football game, they got to do that time and time again. They're down by 15 points midway through the third. They're eating up some clock, but they're knocking on the door to put some more points on the board to make it a one-possession football game. But Cabot's got to do it first, and they got to come up with another huge stop and another offensive drive after this one. Cabot offense will hurry up down to the line.
Dead T again.
Barnes will pitch it out to Morris. Morris gets to the outside. Won't get much. Get to the 9-yard line. Be 3rd and 4. Excuse me, 3rd and 3 on the play. This will be a big play right here. They got to get that first down. You do not want to settle for a field goal if you're Cabot.
No, you don't. You have to have touchdowns if you want to win this ball game.
And Easton Seidel is going to run over a couple of defenders, get down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1.
I love
Huge
seeing
run.
this power football from Cabot, pushing it back to the inside, just pounding it up the middle. As classic as you can be, old school football, hitting them in the mouth, outworking them right now.
And Malham loves that old school football. And Easton Seidel killed that run right there. Quarterback sneak by Gerard. Cabot thinking they got it, but they're going to say they stopped him short for no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And I got to say once again, what a run by Easton Seidel to get up past the defensive lineman into the 2nd level to pick up those critical 8 yards to get down to the 1-yard line. And with 5:25 remaining with the clock running, Cabot's knocking on the door at the 1. Barnes will hand it off. They'll get the touchdown.
Touchdown, Panthers.
And it's a better snap this time. They had a high snap, and North Little Rock able to come away with unsuccessful PAT to make it a 15-point ball game instead of a 14. See if Martin.
Pick it up. Ironsides puts it up.
No,
and no
it's blocked
good.
again. And it's still a 9-possession football game.
That's huge.
Just gets his hands up. Looks to be number 25, Xavier Watt, who got it up. He's a freshman. Very impressive play there. And North Little Rock is up on Cabot 28-19 with 5:15 in the third quarter. What a stand by North Little Rock on the PAT.
How about that? You know, all Cabot has to do, a lot of times you take it for granted, PATs, but you don't have it, it makes a huge difference in the game. Last game here cost Cabot the win, but here, you see, it may cost them again as now they're down 2 possessions instead of 1.
You're absolutely right. That was very critical. I mean, this is going to come back to haunt them. The 2 failed extra point attempts, it comes back to haunt you. And it almost came back. It definitely came back, for Cabot when they had a chance to send it to overtime last time with the PAT. Instead, they elect to go for it. It was a critical game-calling play. And they'll hurry up and kick it off here. They'll send it deep, and he'll receive it at the 10-yard line. He'll bring it out. He's got some space.
The middle.
He's got some space. He'll get the edge. One man to beat.
He beats
Looks like he'll beat him.
Morales.
That'll be number 6.
Touchdown, Wildcats.
Winton Youth on the return for the touchdown. A 90-yard touchdown kick return for the Charging Wildcats to make it a 34-19 ball game in North Little Rock. Wow, what a return. What a return by Ruth. He's a senior. Really fast. Got into the open space really quick after he got some really key blocks. And then he had one man to beat. And boy, did he beat him. He beat Bradley Morales around the outside to take it all the way to the house for a 90-yard touchdown. The extra point is up. It just gets through the uprights, and North Little Rock leads Cabot 35-19 with 5:02 remaining in the third quarter. This game being brought to you by Cabot High School Television and AAA, Arkansas Activities Association.
For those of you just joining us, I'm Trey Tonneson here with Ashton Kohler. North Little Rock just returned the kickoff for a touchdown, 96 yards to go up 35-19 over the Panthers.
And it all started in the first half. You know, North Little Rock's offense was rolling early. They scored on the first play there from scrimmage on a huge play over the top in the secondary for a first touchdown. Come up with a stop on defense, and they give the ball back. Give the ball back to Cabot after a huge defensive stand by Cabot. And then North Little Rock able again in one play put up another touchdown on a huge run by Alex Day. And then it's just been a slugfest from then. You know, Cabot's been running the ball really successfully with Easton Seidel and Austin Morris around the outside. And then you got North Little Rock on the flip side of the ball with Alex Day and with their quarterback, you know, throwing it over the top, beating the secondary. It's just been a really crazy night for both teams. Both teams have struggled with penalties early. Seems like they have overcome that. And they'll have Barnes and Seidel back there deep to receive the kickoff, both standing at the 10-yard line.
Interesting, Cabot's moved some quicker guys up in the return formation as North Little Rock has been pooch kicking it, but this one will be kicked deep.
Yeah.
Returned
They'll
by.
kick it up. John Weens will get the ball. He'll get it back to Gerard. Gerard fumbles the football. He'll pick it up at the 10-yard line, run out of bounds. Scary situation as Cabot will take over on the 11-yard line.
That almost cost the Panthers trying to squeeze out a few extra yards. It almost made a huge mistake.
That, like I said, they try anything to give the ball to Barnes. That's their playmaker, especially in open space. And when they did, that was just a bad throw by John Weens. Yielded negative results there for Cabot as they'll have terrible field position to start this drive with 4:56 remaining in the third. Cabot's got to score here. This is a must touchdown drive. Easton Seidel with a huge run right there gets 4 big yards.
Tell you what, it takes a lot longer for Cabot to score in their old-fashioned up-the-middle game when they're starting back at their own 12.
It really does. They love running the ball down the middle, and oftentimes that will lead to a really great time of possession for the team. However, it's not looking good here. They've got to score, and they got to score quick because they're down big here in the third quarter. They'll give it back to Easton, who almost gets in deep to the second level. He'll just get tripped up. It looks like he'll pick up the first down.
Old-fashioned football, nothing wrong with that. Keep getting yards, no reason to go away from it.
And you got to wonder when Easton's just going to tire out. He's been running the football all night. He's got to be tired. He's been on both sides of the ball. We've seen him on defense and offense. Really just been carrying the whole offense, him and Gerard and Austin. And
You're right.
that last drive, Braxton. But really, he's been one of the key players for Cabot. And you got to wonder when his tank is going to be empty.
You're right. And then they'd have Braxton Burton, Gerard Barnes, and Austin Morris left to run the offense.
They'll give the ball to Easton again. He'll get the ball out to the 31-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and short situation for Cabot. Their offense is getting back to what they do best, running the football, doing it successfully. They're looking at a 3rd and 2 here. However, it's late in the third quarter, and they're down big 35-19. You got to wonder when they're going to pick up this offense and really get rolling to score, try and win this football game. However, they'll hand it back to Easton. Fights for the first down. He will not get it. They'll stuff him short, only gain of 1 on the play.
Looks like Easton's starting to get a little tired here, not being able to push as far.
Yeah, he's slow to get up. He's getting tired. I'll bring Braxton into the football game, checking in for Adam Flores.
You know, I've only seen our receivers tonight open one time. This was Colin Timms when he had that breakaway pass that was overthrown to him. But I look to see if they can bust out at the end of this game because they have been vital all season. Colin Timms, John Riley Weens, and Seth Carter are the wideouts.
They've been huge all year for the Panthers and the passing game. They've been open for a good majority of the night. However, Barnes has overthrown him. He's had some pressure in his face, and he's got excited a couple times. He's just overthrowing the football. Barnes keeps the football here. A flag is down.
Curious to what the call is here.
It's going to be a chop block. Hit below the waist against Cabot. And that's going to back him up. Huge penalty there. They're looking at a 2nd short situation instead. It's going to be 1st and long. So Flores and Timms checking to the game. Bring 2 wideouts out. Gerard will keep the football. No, he is going to be stuffed all the way. North Little Rock read that play. There was no fooling them right there. They knew exactly who was getting that football, and they hit him in the backfield before he was unable to do anything.
Yeah, you're right. They read that perfectly and were there to bring him down.
So they'll split out 3 receivers again. Barnes trying to throw. He's trying to get away. He's going to go down for another sack. Another huge loss there. Loss of 7 on the play. It's going to be a 4th and forever. In what seemed to be a very promising drive for Cabot ends in heartbreak as they're looking at 4th down an eternity. And they're going to go for it
You know,
on
Ashton,
the 29-yard line.
Cabot's really been
24.
getting killed when North Little Rock they are bringing a cornerback blitz, dropping the safety back in coverage, or doing vice versa, and it's really hurting Cabot because they don't know what to do, it seems, when that formation happens.
Cabot's
Barnes
he's
fumbles
going to lose the football. North Little Rock signaling they have it. Either way, it'll be their football. 'Cause it was 4th down. Really doesn't matter at this point. North Little Rock, huge defensive stand there. Barnes fumbles the football.
It's like Colin Thompson
They'll
may
give
be
it back.
injured on the play. He'll get up and hustle off. Tough guy, good competitor.
Looks like number 3, Roman Little for North Little Rock, seemed to walking away with a little bit of a limp there. Should be all right. Comes away a little shaky off the play. Great defensive stand but there by North Little Rock because they'll have great field position from the 22-yard line.
Pitch. Look at this pitch up the middle. Great yards there. Just a hole opened up wide.
And they'll continue to do that for probably what seems to be the remainder of the game with Alex Day. They're looking to run this clock out, leading 35-19.
Looks like North Little Rock may be done spreading it out too as they're beginning to run the ball to kill some clock here.
As we're nearing the end of this 3rd quarter with only 49 seconds remaining. North Little Rock looks to put this football game away early. Almost into the 4th quarter, they're up big, 35-19. And unless Cabot can produce some offense and make some key stops on defense, North Little Rock's going to walk out of this quarterfinal game with a win, head on to play in the semifinals. .30 seconds now to play. They're trying to run this clock down to the 4th quarter. They're going to have to run one more play here.
2nd and 3 for them. It's like they're going to spread it out. Trips to the left side here. You're line up in an
a bunch
eye.
formation over there. And Alex Day, big hole, huge hit.
Put the smack down on Neighbors.
Runs over Neighbors. The Neighbors just able to hold on to bring them down. We'll head to the 4th quarter with North Little Rock up 35-19. This stream's brought to you by Cabot High School Television and AAA Arkansas Activity Association. We head to the 4th quarter of the 7A state quarterfinal matchup,
Well, Little Rock is flexing right now. They are just pounding the ball up the middle, showing strength.
This has got to be Cabot's quarter if they want any shot of winning this football game. Not much activity over there going on the Cabot sideline. A lot of players sitting down on the bench. Some of them hanging their heads. It's not looking good for them. As the Cabot defense has got to make a key stop here against this red-hot North Little Rock offense. Let me tell you, if North Little Rock goes on to win this football game, it's going to be hard to stop them next week with whoever they got.
You're right. They're on a tear right now. They're ending this game just not even having to pass the football. They're just stuffing it up the middle.
He'll cut it back, and he'll score. Flags on the field, however. No, it looks like they'll actually mark him short. However, flags are down on the field. It's going to be holding against the offense. That'll back them up. So that'll back them up down to the 16-yard line. It'll be first and goal for North Little Rock with 11:54 in the fourth quarter. Looking to put this game away. I think another touchdown will do it for North Little Rock.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're on a roll right now, and this would just increase their momentum.
They'll set up a screen. They'll get some yards, get to the edge. Barnes just able to knock him out of bounds. They'll put Barnes in there at the safety position.
See if he can provide some more quickness.
That was number one, Kevin Wallace, on the screen pass there. So he'll create some space, get down to the 7-yard line. They'll give the handoff to Wallace again. Stop made for no gain by Eric Larson. Now they're on the 5-yard line, third down.
I think Jameson does more.
This defense is tired.
You can see it out there. They're moving slower and slower by the minute.
Got Easton, Chris Jones, Deontay Roberts, Spencer Nickel in there from the defensive line. They'll go on a pass play. He's escaped the pocket. He'll score.
Trey Cox took it himself right into the end zone.
Trey Cox gets flushed out of the pocket, and he'll score. And North Little Rock goes up 41-19 early in the fourth quarter. I think that's going to do it for Cabot. As much as I hate to say it, this North Little Rock team's offense just too strong for Cabot tonight.
As Cabot's student section begins to file out.
Yeah, I think they know it's over. North Little Rock just proves to be too much. They're 10-0 for a reason. Well, with 10:58 remaining in the fourth quarter, North Little Rock leads 42-19. Quite the lead for North Little Rock tonight. Is looks like so far they're going to go to the semifinal round of the 7A state playoff. So what does North Little Rock have to continue to do throughout this postseason if they want to win their first state championship?
You know, they have to stay versatile. You know, day is good, but if they just focus just on one facet of the football, then they're not going to be able to win. They have to, you know, spread it out, be able to get those passes, keep day in the game, keep them balanced, but also they have to keep their defense on their toes, keep these reads solid like they've been doing. Their defense has been reading the calls perfectly, especially when they bring that corner in, a corner blitz, safety backs up, covers the right man, gets those interceptions, cover the right man, forcing 3 and outs. Just excellent defense. That's textbook.
They really have been playing excellent defense all night. They've been stuffing Gerard Barnes on the outside, keeping him fairly quiet on the night. As Austin Morris will return this kick from the 10-yard line. He'll give it to Barnes. And Barnes tries to create some space. There's a flag down as he'll get down to the 22-yard line. However, there's a penalty marker on the field. This looks like it's coming back. Yeah, it's going to be an illegal block in the back forced against Cabot. Now back him up even more. And the struggles continue for the Cabot offense. Well, the offense looks to generate some points here and try to get back in this football game as they find themselves down big. And they'll continue to keep it in here. Gerard tries to take it to the outside on an option. Won't get much. Pick up a 4 on the play. Gerard's looking to throw. Looks like he's going to be sacked again. Gerard's slow to get up. He's hurt. He's tired. That offense has been struggling all night. With 10 minutes to go, I don't know if there's much left in this offense to get this job done. They'll hand it. No, they won't. Barnes will keep it. Barnes gets to the outside. Out to the 20. Big hit.
He's popped.
Gerard able to get up. After a big gain on the play, bring up first down. So he'll get out to the 25-yard line. With that speed that he has, he's able to get that outside easy. Just not fast enough to get around, beat that man for that score. However, it does bring up a first down. It does stop the clock with 9:33 remaining. They'll send 3 receivers out. Barnes hands it off to Weens. Weens finds a hole. He'll get out just past the 30-yard line. Good gain on the play. Clock continues to run.
It's misdirection by Cabot's. Pretty good play calling right now. I like seeing that.
It's a very good play call right there. Brings up positive results there. John Weens gets a big hole out there on the left side. Bring up second down and 2. They'll spread it out again. Barnes in the shotgun. Hand off to Braxton. Braxton looks for a hole. He'll pick up the first down. Good run there by Burton.
Cabot's offense playing textbook football right now. Run.
Yep, they continue to run the football, which is going to continue to wind that clock down.
You got a clock issue right now. The clock did not run on the last play. Now they'll start it.
Barnes is back to throw. No. Flores is going to drop the ball. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for Cabot.
For both teams, we've seen a lot of drops tonight. A lot of overthrown passes. Equal missed opportunities.
It really has. It's been struggling. The Cabot offense has been struggling all night long with penalties and missed opportunities. They should be in this football game. They've had a couple of touchdowns missed over the top. That Barnes just overthrew them. Let's see if he can turn it around here. He'll hand it off to Flores. Flores looks to bounce it out. He'll break 1 tackle. Can't get away from 2 more. He'll be stopped again at the line of scrimmage. He'll bring up third down. He won't get nothing on the play. Ran 10 yards to get nothing.
Yeah, you're right. He's also a lot of energy, but he's still putting a lot of effort into this. You like to see that. They're not quitting.
You begin to wonder when Cabot's going to throw the football. Haven't had much success with it tonight, however. If they can get a couple plays down deep. And here he is. Gerard going to step back. He's going to unload one. It's going to be picked off.
Right to him.
Down at the 40-yard line.
Tim Spate with the pick. 5'4", 145. Freshman cornerback.
And North Little Rock looks to milk this clock as they are on their own 40-yard line. Up 42-19. This broadcast being brought to you by Cabot High School Television and Arkansas Activities Association for making this possible tonight. Another run by Alex. He'll pick up a couple. Stay in bounds. The clock continues to run. All 3 timeouts still held by Cabot. And they're just going to milk this clock down as much as they can. They're wanting to put this game away. As they'll slow down here. Just continue to hand the football off. 10 seconds to go on the clock. They'll give it to Alex. Alex stands on his feet. Breaking tackles. Get to the 50-yard line, close to the first down marker. They'll give him the first down. What a run by Alex. He'll break a couple tackles early. He'll get to the second level, stays on his feet before he finally goes down at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for North Little Rock. Just entering, or just under 7 minutes to play here in the football game. Just 10 seconds to go on the play clock now. North Little Rock's going to put this game away, and they're going to go on to win this football game. They'll pitch it to Alex. Alex gets to the outside. He'll break 2 tackles, evade another one before he's finally brought down inside the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Jonathan Turner, a sophomore, only 5'9", 140, not the biggest guy out there. But he certainly tracked down Alex Day, and he made that play. He's coming off the defensive line, talking about him going into the secondary to make that play.
Yeah, that was great effort and great awareness to get back there and make that stop.
That was very good. Don't see a lot of defensive linemen go all the way back there in the secondary, 20 yards away from their position to go make that play. But he potentially saved a touchdown right there as Alex looks to bust another one. He'll get down to the 20-yard line with 6 minutes to play. It's going to be 2nd down and 2 for North Little Rock. As they continue to milk this clock.
.5:30 remaining in the game.
They'll pitch it out.
It's tripped up. Looks like he'll fall down around the line of scrimmage.
I think that's David Chappell again. The junior on the carry. They'll pitch it to him. He'll check out of the game. Instead, they'll bring in number 18, Quincy Williams, the freshman. And he'll get into the second level. Huge run there. And he'll stay on his feet. He's still fighting for yards inside the 5-yard line. What a run.
What a play by Winton Ruth. Just finessing his way inside the 5.
And with 4:35 remaining, North Little Rock looking to put the exclamation point on this W. As they're knocking on the door again. Inside the 5-yard line, sitting at the Cabot 4. They're going to pitch it, and he's stuffed. Ruth again. He got absolutely nothing there. All the way back to the 9-yard line. 5-yard loss on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. 2nd and goal.
I don't think he'll care since I'm doing a good job. If he does, man.
Just at 3.5 minutes to play here in the football game.
But I mean, if they were good, they're good.
They'll hand it to Ruth again. He'll look to power inside. End zone. Touchdown, Ruth. Make it a 47-19 football game with 3:23 remaining.
I know they're going to get the game close.
Extra point attempt. Extra point is good, and excuse me, it is 49-19. North Little Rock goes up by 30 with 3 minutes remaining. Unless Cabot can work a miracle, I don't see them winning this football game. North Little Rock looks to go on to be a perfect 11-0 headed into the semifinal matchup against the winner of Springdale Harbor and Bryant.
Yeah, Day single-handedly
Carried this football team tonight.
He sure did, and he took down the defense in the second half. He sliced and diced his way to first downs and sped his way into the end zone.
And they'll put back Flores and Morse. Draw is no longer on that return team.
What does this do down here? That little dial.
Send a line drive kick to Flores. He'll field it at the 3. He'll bring it out. Flores lowers his shoulder and lays a lick. However, he's not going to get much more after that. He'll be stopped at the 23-yard line. Cabot continues to run the football. Big hole with Easton Seidel. Just gets tripped up, and he's down. Hard fall there for Seidel. And he's injured. He's going to lay out there. Out comes the athletic coach, or excuse me, athletic trainers out there to assist him. With 3:12 remaining in the fourth quarter, this broadcast being brought to you by Cabot High School Television and Arkansas Activities Association. North Little Rock leads 49-19. They're currently tending to Easton Seidel down there on the field.
Yeah, Easton tripped up, went airborne, and Hit pretty hard.
Good to see Easton get up right there. He'll head to the sidelines. Hopefully he's all right. Easton's a senior at middle linebacker at 6'2", 245. However, got moved from the linebacker position to defensive lineman and the fullback. Instead of not on the same page here, Gerard goes down for a huge loss.
That was a very big loss. Not
However,
sure what
they
happened.
will give them, they'll blow the whistle. They'll mark them down early. Instead of a huge loss, they'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They'll only lose, looks to be about 4 or 5 on the play. Well, it's been quite the season for Cabot. Started out strong at 5-0. Had a heartbreaking loss against the 0-5 Conway team, a really good 0-5 team in Conway, facing some of the really good 7A West teams, coming in with just one possession of those teams. Really good football team. Horrifically, they beat Cabot, and then it's been all struggles from then on out.
You're right. You know, this start of the season was wonderful. The fans were excited. Everybody was into it. Then get to the second half of the season, and wheels came off.
Fell apart.
Just fell apart.
Seems like
rough.
It was a tie game at halftime with Conway, and then, of course, Gerard had that horrific injury, sat him out at quarterback for a couple weeks. And now, when they had a 5-0 start, Cabot currently sits at 7-4, 3-4 in conference play. They went to Bentonville West in the first round. Had a very nice win there to end Bentonville West's season. They sat at 3-8 on the year after the loss by Cabot.
It's like number 18, Michael Savage, was injured on the play. Slipped on the chains over there on the sideline.
Good to see him walking on his own power. He's holding that left hip. Hopefully he's all right. Hopefully potentially a hip or a lower back injury. Surely he'll be okay heading in the next week. 2:20 left to play. We'll resume football here. But North Little Rock's a 10-0 team for a reason. They've shown it tonight. They have a truly high-powered offense followed by a great stout defense. Curious to see what they're going to do here in the stretch.
Yeah, you're right. See if they can keep up this momentum throughout the playoffs. That play will just go right up the middle.
Looks like they'll give them the first down. North Little Rock, they've been killing just about every single team they've played. The only real challenge they had was against Cabot a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you're right.
They come back around and they kill this team. They absolutely destroyed Cabot all night on both sides of the ball with defense and offense.
Yeah, I gotta applaud Cabot for not giving up. You know, they're still trying. Alex Day wheeled and dealt this team to a win tonight.
They really did. This clock continues to roll inside of 2 minutes to play.
It's a minute.
They'll hand it off to Easton Seidel. He'll lower his shoulder and try to pick up a couple extra yards. He'll be close to the first down marker. Maybe held just short. He will. It'll be third down and half of a football. Nearing a minute to play.
And a minute's left in Cabot's season.
You're absolutely right. This is going to be the last game for Gerard Barnes as a Cabot Panther and many of the other seniors of the team. This team's really relied on the seniors this season. Curious to see what they're going to do next season without all these players. However, they got some promising bodies back there in the backfield, and Bradley Morales, he's really showed out this season. He's just a sophomore. He has 2 more years here at Cabot. And then you also have the backup quarterback spot. You have,
Victory formation.
oh no. Fumbled the football.
Did we really get it?
Cabot just recovered. 30 seconds left to play. Like I was saying, the backup quarterback, Cody Skinner, is a junior. He'll be a senior next year. Very good quarterback, and that'll be the football game. North Little Rock's going to go on to win this semifinal matchup by a score of 49-19. What a game played by North Little Rock as they finished with a perfect 11-0 record. As they head to the next round of this 7A state playoff.
You know, Cabot put up a little bit of a fight early, didn't quit. North Little Rock's firepower was just too much to handle.
Yeah, they got shot down second half. Weren't really able to get anything going offensively all night.
That'll do it for Cabot football this year. We'll see you in Panther Arena for Panther basketball. You can catch Gerard Barnes and all the other state champion Panthers there this year. For CHTV, I'm Trey Tonneson.
And I'm Asher Caller.
Thanks for a great season.
Have a great night.